All right, let's start video number 5. Let's see, we left off with the Venn diagram, and now we are here, figuring out this Venn diagram. So let me mute my computer. Oop, I don't need that. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so as you are filling out your Venn diagram, the easiest thing that it's going to be to figure out is the neither and the both. That's the easiest part because the neither section is always going to be outside the Venn diagram. The both, I put the wrong one. 35 is neither, and the both is always going to be where you have overlap. Okay? Now, it says here that 75 people said A. So that means in this entire circle, 75 people said A. 75 people will be present. But notice that 20 is already represented in the both category, so that means simple subtraction says 55 would be A only. Now, we got to find B, and there's 200 people that said B. Now, one thing to consider is that all the numbers that is in this Venn diagram will add up to get to 200. So a simple subtraction problem, 200 minus 55 minus 20 minus 35 gives us a leftover number of 90. And there's your answer. Moving on to this area model. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to create an area model based on this tree diagram. Now we're going to divide up the area model based on how this is divided up in the tree diagram. Now, the very first expansion here tells me about how many rows. So the number of rows. I have 3, so that means I'm going to divide it up 3 ways. I'm going to try to do this as best I can. I know I'm going to be off a little bit, but it works. Yep, I'm off. But let's see if I can fix it real quick. That's about as good as it's going to get. All right, so this will represent study, this will represent barely study, and this represents no study, okay? Now, the second expansion in my tree represents how the rows will be divided. So, rows divided. And of course, I'm abbreviating. Now, the very first one, it says we only have one, which is really study. So that means this first row will not be divided up because there's only one option here. But if you notice our second expansion for our second row, it's divided up into 2 parts. So let me divide it up into 2 parts. I should have used a straight line. I'm going to do that just because it's going to bother me. There you go. And so now this is barely pass, and this is not pass. And of course, my very last one for the not study, it's only divided up 1 time, and so that is not pass. Now, of course, you would find the dimensions, get area, and all that. So if the question kept going, but we're stopping right there. Moving on. Random survey was conducted to gather information about age and employment status. Okay. So it says here, what is the probability that someone has a high risk given the person is male? Now, what's very important about these type of probability questions is that it's giving you a restriction of male, meaning I only want to know the males, not the entire population. So 365 plus 550, that's a grand total of 915 males in this study over, let's see, what is the probability someone has a high risk? Well, that's 550. And of course you would reduce, but because of time we're not going to. What is the probability that someone is a low risk given that the person is female? There's a restriction again. So I'm going to add up all my females, which gives me a grand total of 629. And of course we're looking for low risk, so low risk is 425. So 425, almost ran out of room there. What is probability that of males in the survey? Notice I didn't have given whatever. I'm only asking for just the males in the survey. So if I'm not giving you a restriction, that means I am not asking for any type of, you know, male or female. I want to know everybody. So that'd be 1,544 participants in the study, and how many males were there? There were a grand total of 915. And of course, you would reduce when you need to. All right. Next question. Based on the menu of Mama's Deli, there are 9 burgers slash sandwiches, so 9, 5 side orders, 5, 4 drinks, and 3 dessert options. How many total meal options are available? You just simply multiply everything that you're given, all your options, to get a grand total of 540 options. Pretty simple there. Moving on. Create a tree diagram based on the following information. You can either wear a short sleeve or long sleeve shirt. Okay, so my first tree expansion will be short sleeve SS or long sleeve LS. And you can either wear khaki pants or blue jeans. So khaki pants, blue jeans, khaki pants, blue jeans. So khaki pants, blue jeans, khaki pants, blue jeans. All right. So from here, we're going to answer the questions. How many possible outcomes are there? We'll just add up all your final branches. That gives me a total of 4. What is the probability of John choosing a long sleeve shirt? Well, that's 1/2. What is the probability of John making, or I'm sorry, John making wearing, oh, okay, that was a typo. Okay. Of John wearing a short sleeve shirt with blue jeans. Well, short sleeve shirt is here, blue jeans is right here. That is 1/4. There's your probability tree. Moving on. Probability of someone choosing A. Well, someone choosing A, this is the entire A circle, so that would be 110 over. I don't even know how many there are. Let's see. Let me total them up, which is 165. This adds up to 165. All right. So 110 over 165. What is probability of both? Well, that's the shared section. 20 over 165. Next question. Probability of B only. B only is right here. 50 over 165. How many did neither? 5. That'd be 5 over 165. Of course, how many total people voted? That'd be 165. Should have probably been the very first question asked. All right. So that is the end of the midterm review key part 1. Let's see if we can squeeze in the rest in this video. Okay, here's midterm review part 2. This will be the final part of our midterm review, and I just figured out that I will not have enough time, so it's time for another video. Thank you for watching.